Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we're going from the 15th of February up until the 21st. We'll first see if there are any games that came out without being in one of these videos, and then we'll move on to that week at hand. So which games are coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out.
First up, we've got the sponsor of today's video. It's a game called I See Red by Whiteboard Games that's coming to the Switch soon. And it's basically a top-down twin-stick roguelite with a very red theme, where the main protagonist is on a quest for revenge across the galaxy and many different ships, all within a pretty nifty cyberpunk world. And their pure rage has made all the enemies glow with a dark red hue. You can use things from the environment during combat by blowing up different objects. You can smash down walls. It's very much destruction-centric, with you moving your way through procedurally generated levels with a massive arsenal of weapons to use as well. But it also features a quite nifty little grappling hook mechanic, which enables you to swiftly move around and also use it for dynamic enemy takedowns. This one was originally released back on PC in 2022, but if you're a fan of games like Hades, it certainly might appeal to you. It has that fast-paced, addictive quality that we so enjoy. All of the price details for the sale are on the screen now, and once again, just a big thank you to the publisher for sponsoring this episode.
Just one game already out then, this is The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2. This, as the title would imply, is a sequel to Trails Through Daybreak, which actually came out on the Switch last year, so it's quite a quick turnaround in terms of this sequel. And it says you'll be returning to the Calvard Republic to unravel the mystery of the Crimson Beast. A series of murders set the wheels of fate in motion once again, and time may be the only key to unlocking the secrets lurking beneath the shadows. We reviewed the first game last year and very much enjoyed it. I'll put a card to that in the top right hand corner, but this one, as I said, is already out and it sells for £53.99 or your regional equivalent. Let's move on to this week then, and the first game is Godzilla Voxel Wars. I'm a massive Godzilla fan, and when I saw the name Godzilla as I was scrolling down the eShop, I got very excited and then saw it has voxel graphics, which I really don't like. You can't do Godzilla justice in voxel graphics, but having said that, it looks like quite an interesting game. It's a turn-based strategy game, coming from Toho Games themselves, it says, and you'll control monsters from Toho's movies as you save the world by repelling the invasion of the fungoid mushroom menace. There are 6 worlds with multiple stages for you to take on, and on each stage you'll need to grapple with different monsters and try different approaches as you strive for victory. It says once you clear the surface, you then go underground, attempting the more difficult underside. You can also build your own stages and share them for others to try. It does look good, I must say. It was just that initial disappointment of seeing Godzilla so small and diddy. But yeah, no, it looks a decent game at least. And it's out on the 19th for £12.79. Next you have Pro Wrestler Story, where it says you'll take control of your very own pro wrestling team, building up your members to seize the title of Undisputed Industry Best. With your team comes your own gym, which you can furnish with a bench press, heavy bag and other equipment, and you'll need your wrestlers in tip-top condition come fight day. It says a colourful host of wrestling rivals await your challenge, and you'll need to prep sufficiently, as the more popularity your team amasses, the more visitors will flock to your gym. As for the in-ring action, it says you'll need to weather thrilling exchanges amidst cheers from a capacity crowd, sinking a finisher at the right moment to nab the free count. I'm sure this will interest some people if you're a fan of wrestling and you like the idea of managing your own wrestling team. It's out on the 19th and it will sell for £10.79, but you can get 10% off of that price up until the 5th of March. Following on from that, we have Stories from Soul, the Gun Dog. You take on the role of the Gun Dog's security officer as you attempt to save the ship from an unknown assailant, whilst navigating the paranoia, conspiracies and vendettas that break out amongst the crew. It calls itself a love letter to retro anime and 80s sci-fi, and describes itself as a visual novel adventure in the spirit of classic PC 9800 titles. It has a vintage green screen aesthetic and strives to create an era-accurate game that exudes retro vibes in every way. I do love any game that uses the idea of paranoia amongst, a team, a crew that are stuck in a situation, and that fear and the vendettas, as it mentioned, start to build up. I always think that's a very clever idea, as long as it's executed well, of course. This one does have a demo though, so you can give it a try before you buy. It's out on the 20th and it will cost £17.09. Next we have Ninja Issen, the Scroll of Dimension. You play as Kiba, a ninja of a clan who is one day accused of murdering the clan leader. After being pursued, you find yourself in a distant future, a place called Lust Angels, and it's got a cyberpunk aesthetic according to the blurb. It says ninja, samurai, a military facility management AI, and even strategic robot weaponry are all out to get you, and you need to fight back against the ever-tightening onslaught of enemies to achieve victory. Another one that's out on the 20th, it will sell for £12.19 or your regional equivalent. We then have Crossout Resurfaced. This is a remake, a resurfaced edition, of a shoot 'em up from 1989 when it released on the Commodore 64 or 1990 when it released on the Amiga, the sprite work of the original having been redone with modern high resolution sprites. The particle and lighting effects have also been improved, and there are 8 stages to fight your way through. The original synth soundtrack has been remastered, and it came from Chris Hulsbeck, who, amongst other things, also did the classic soundtrack to the Turrican games. There are 6 new tracks included here as well. I do love it when they do things like this. Take a game from 35 or so years ago and completely remake it, keeping the spirit of the original. I'm trying to see, reading the blurb here, if you can switch between the original and the modern graphics. I can't see it anywhere written here. Hopefully you can, because I do love it when they do that too. But yeah, looks very good. Not a game I've played, I must say. It's out on the 20th again. £17.99 this one costs, but you can get 10% off that price up until launch day. The penultimate game for the week is Cabernet. This is a 2D narrative RPG set in a 19th century Eastern European inspired world with a modern twist, it says here. You play as Lisa, a young vampire struggling with her morality and the supernatural world she's been pulled into. It says, will you retain your humanity or descend further into the horror that you have become? You'll need to use the moonlit sky to plan your next feast and explore, mingle among vampiric society and the humans who feed them. It looks as if you interact with some of the characters that you come across. Ultimately, I assume, by the way I'm reading it, to decide which of them you want to feast upon. Quite a macabre idea. It's out on the 20th and it will sell for £16.75. But once again, it is one that has a discount at launch, 10% up until the 6th of March.
Be careful. I was warned. Demons are hereditary.
And the final game for the week then is Jupiter Hell. This looks to be a twin-stick shooter. It says here in the blurb, do you miss the good old days where games didn't hold your hand? If so, then you're in the perfect place. In Jupiter Hell, action follows your every move. When you act, your enemies act, but when you die for good. You'll unlock new perks, test out new builds, and try to live through the hell that you've ended up in, with every run being different according to the blurb, thanks to the procedurally generated levels. You'll earn new perks, build your character to endure what lurks around the corner, and if you manage to survive, it says you can unlock new challenges. This comes from Chaos Forge, the team behind DRL, which was like a Doom roguelike that they created, and this is seen as a spiritual successor to that game. It's out on the 20th once again, and it sells for £22.49 or your regional equivalent. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Do any of those games interest you? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget, if you are looking to pick any of these games up, you can get your eShop credit via our website, switchup.gg, and doing so will get you 5% of your purchase price back as cashback. There are also links down there to other places, such as PlayAsia. If you're looking to import any games, use the link, use the code stated, and you get yourself 5% off of your order from there. I've just used the code myself actually. Recently I picked up the Neo Geo Collection Volumes 1 and 2 from PlayAsia. Yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to diving into those. If you're looking for something else to watch, my other channel, GB Bricks, which focuses on Lego, has a new video out. This is a look at some of the Lego sets in the Ideas theme that are slated to retire by the end of this year. So yeah, please do give that a watch if that's something that interests you. I'll put a card to it in the top right hand corner. A quick thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support. and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.